Okay, now we're going to get started with painting the snowman heart. And the first thing we're going to do is mix some paints. We need a cream colored mix, and to mix that we're going to use equal parts of titanium white. So put a small petal of that on your paint palette. I'm using a wax palette to mix the colors. This is probably like a chocolate chip size drop. And so I'm going to put another drop of the raw sienna next to it, and then take a palette knife and mush them together. It's better to just press and lift rather than try to stir them. So you can press them when they spread out a little bit, take the side of your knife and scoop them up, and then mash them together some more. So once they're pretty well mixed, then you can scrape it all together and pick it up and put it on your wet palette. So that way, as you've got your color mixes made, you should have enough there to last you throughout the whole painting project without having to mix new. We want green, and we're going to use phthalo blue-green. This is a very bright green. So we're going to, again, put like a chocolate drop size of that out. And then we're going to use, and the phthalo blue-green is a semi-transparent color. To make it a little bit more opaque, we're going to add a touch of white to it, because it's a very dark color you can see on the palette. So I'm just going to pick up a small amount of white, and you want to work small amounts. You don't want to add too much at one time. And we're going to mix that into the green, and you can see the green color more as you put some white into it. So I think that's enough. So it's just a small touch of white to the green, just so you can bring the green color out so you see that. So we're going to scoop that up and add that to our wet palette. You want to wipe your palette knife in between your color mixes so you don't contaminate the colors. Now we're going to mix a blue color, and we're going to use phthalo blue. And again, this is a real strong, intense blue color. And, right out of the bottle, you can't see the color very much. So we're going to put a little white and put that in there. And so now you can start seeing the color of blue that is. I still want that a little bit lighter, and we're gonna add a little more white to that. So in this color, it's probably going to be about half white to half blue, or 1 part white to 1 part blue. Now you can see that blue color is still really an intense blue color, and I'd like to tone that down a little bit. And to tone down a color, you can either add an earth tone to it or a complementary color. So I'm going to pick a little bit of our naphthol red light up and add to it, just a touch of that. And because the complementary of blue is orange and the naphthol red light is an orange red, that should be enough to help tone this color down a little bit. So you can see as we mix that in there, it just grays that blue down some, so it's not so tense. So we're going to scoop that pile of paint up and add that to our wet palette. Now the last color mix we're going to do to start is we're going to use the naphthol red. And this is a really pretty red right out of the bottle. But I'd like to tone it down just a little, so I'm going to add a little bit of the raw sienna to it. And raw sienna's earth tone. It's got a yellow cast to it. And that's going to just add a little more brownish yellow color to this red. Just tone it down a little bit to give it a little bit more of a burnt look to it. So we're mixing that together with our palette knife and scoop that up as much as you can. And add that to your wet palette. So we've got 4 color mixes. A tan color, which was white plus raw sienna, half and half. A green, which was our phthalo green plus a little bit of white to give us a tint of that green. The blue mix is phthalo blue plus white and just a touch of the naphthol red light to tone that down. And then we've got the naphthol red light plus a little bit of raw sienna to make a little bit of a toned red.